Hello and welcome. You're watching Tech 24, France 24's tech show. Are nations around the world involved in an arms race to develop autonomous lethal weapons? We'll ask that question to Mary Wareham from Human Rights Watch. She also tells us more about her fight to ban the use of these killer robots. And in Test 24, we try the Seraphin bedside book, the world's first open platform designed to deliver a digital detox. It's aimed at helping you change your habits to combat digital distractions. Some experts are already calling it the third revolution in warfare. Weapons controlled by artificial intelligence, or so-called lethal autonomous weapons, are being developed by nations worldwide. While they can facilitate maneuvers in the field and save lives, they could also perhaps one day be given the power to kill without any human intervention. Yenna Lee tells us more about the state of development of these killer robots.
It's a dystopian future where armed homicidal drones carry out attacks on innocent civilians. The non-profit behind this viral video hopes to raise awareness about the potential dangers of autonomous killer robots. This as several countries come closer each year to creating the real thing. Like in South Korea, where these robots have already been around for almost a decade. Developed by Samsung, they patrol the demilitarized zone between the two Koreas. Armed with machine guns and grenade launchers, they act as soldiers who never sleep. For now, the machines are controlled by humans, but in reality, they already have the capacity to shoot on their own. To help robots like these make the right decision, this pilot says they should be programmed with human characteristics.
If they can choose a target and decide to open fire or not in complete autonomy, without human intervention, if we're able to do that, then the machine needs to be equipped with artificial ethics. It needs to be able to judge the morality of the decision.
Military powers all over the world are racing to develop killer machines, creating ethical and legal dilemmas. Russia is using this tank in Syria. It's armed and controlled by a soldier situated further away from the front line. In France, the government hasn't banned autonomous robots, but hasn't shown signs it wants to use them either, preferring to use robots as reinforcement instead.
The robots will be controlled. Yes, they will certainly carry arms one day, but what's sure is that the decision to choose a target, the decision to open fire, remains in the hands of a ranking officer who's in charge of the mission.
The US Army, too, is investing in artificial intelligence. Boston Dynamics has made machines that can run, do backflips, and even open doors. But the company is best known for Big Dog, a robot created for the US military. For now, it does tasks such as carry supplies, but one day it could also join the fight.
For several years now, experts and activists have been calling for a ban on the development of these weapons controlled by AI. They warned that they could one day malfunction in unpredictable ways and kill innocent people. Well, for more on this, let's cross over to Human Rights Watch Mary Wareham, who's also the coordinator of the campaign to stop killer robots. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So how close are we really to seeing these Terminator robots? Do these weapons already exist?
The campaign to stop killer robots is less concerned about sentient, walking, talking, Terminator-like robots and much more focused on the more imminent use of autonomy in weapon systems, particularly in the critical functions of selecting and attacking targets. We see certain weapon systems today with some autonomy in them, but for us, none of them are yet fully autonomous, which for us means there's no human in the decision-making loop, and the machine would, in effect, be responsible for killing rather than a human. This is the fully autonomous weapons that concern the campaign to stop killer robots, and this is what we're trying to prohibit.
Now, these killer robots are said to pose a variety of problems from an ethical and technical perspective, but also from a legal standpoint, aren't they?
Yes, correct. We've spent about the last 5 years detailing all of the different legal challenges raised by killer robots under international humanitarian law, international human rights law, the massive accountability gap that would be created by the use of a fully autonomous weapon. Who would be responsible for mistakes, for when things go wrong? Would it be the programmer, the manufacturer, the developer, the soldier, the commander who sends it out into the field? None of these particular groups can be held responsible after our legal review of the situation. And this is yet another reason why we need to create an international ban on fully autonomous weapons. At the heart of this concern is this notion that we're crossing a moral line, and that we should not be delegating the decision to kill to machines on the battlefield, but also in policing, border control, and other circumstances.
Now, Mary, are nations around the world engaged in a secret AI arms race to develop these killer robots?
Well, being based in Washington, D.C., I hear a lot about arms race and why the United States needs to invest in these types of weapon systems to keep up with the apparent competition with China and with Russia. And it's undeniable that those three countries and a few others are investing heavily in autonomous weapon systems. But I'd rather call it more a talent quest than an arms race, because people are the ones at the heart of the artificial intelligence revolution, the programmers, the technical experts. And these are the ones who say that they do not want to be working on technology that's used to kill people. This is why we see the tech workers from Google protesting that contract of the Pentagon last year. And tech workers are contacting me daily now, talking about how they want to take an ethical stance and they're questioning the tech that they work on. So I'd look closer at the people who are actually working on this tech than buying into this notion that there's some massive arms race underway. By talking about an arms race, we can kind of feel hopeless and feel like there's nothing we can do about it. But there certainly is plenty to do on this concern.
Mary Wareham from Human Rights Watch, thank you for that. Now, the adverse effects of gaming is often in the spotlight. Last year, the World Health Organization even declared it to be a disorder. Well, to talk more about this, I'm joined by Dhananjay Kadolkar. Hello, Dan. What exactly is a gaming disorder?
Well, according to the World Health Organization, a gaming disorder is a behavior pattern. So what it means is that it is characterized by an impaired control over gaming, increasing priority given to gaming over other activities, including your daily activities and important interests, and continuation and escalation of gaming activities despite experiencing the negative consequences of gaming. So these patterns, they constitute, or they are part of what is called as the gaming disorder. But for it to be diagnosed, this has to be of sufficient severity in order to result in an impairment of important areas of functioning, like social area, whether it's educational, professional, or family. Now, this has to continue for a period of 12 months. Only then it can be diagnosed. That's what the WHO says. But I'm sure many of us have already experienced, the unpleasant effects of obsessive gaming. I remember spending hours on one title that I was addicted to, and I had many unpleasant effects, including insomnia. The next day I was so tired, my thumb used to hurt. So yes, there are many effects that obsessive and compulsive gaming can result in.
So Dan, let's talk a little bit about figures. How big is the gaming industry and who's at risk of becoming addicted to gaming?
Well, just last year, according to one estimate, the gaming industry generated a revenue of more than $130 billion, with half of it coming from smartphones and tablets. Now, the people considered to be most at risk are mostly males from the age group of 18 to 24. And if you take a look at the numbers who are suffering from this gaming disorder, it's between 2 to 4% of those who play games.
Dhananjay Kadolkar, thank you for that. And in Test 24, we're going to take a look at a solution that could just help you deal with tech addiction. Breathe in, breathe out, and relax. It's time for a digital detox session. Dan, tell us more about the Seraphin book.
Well, as you mentioned, this is a digital detox book. So what you have to do is just put your phone in this case It looks like a book, and in fact, the title of the book is Your Sleeping Guardian Angel. So you open the book, keep your phone inside, shut it. There's a charger, so you can charge the phone while you are.
So you're not tempted to go see whatever is happening on your phone?
Because there's normally you get tempted to see when the screen, when there are notifications and the screen lights up, and not automatically your hand reaches out to the phone. But here, you can't see anything. It's just the book cover. But interestingly, this book can also be turned into a bedside lamp. There's a mirror in this, and on the inside of this book, and all you have to do is place this foil on the base, and it turns into a bedside lamp. Now, normally there's an application that helps with controlling the lighting of this lamp, but this is a prototype, so we still don't have that application. And interestingly, this is a platform that integrates with other applications, including an application to monitor your sleep rate. There's another application, a radio application rather, that you can use to listen to podcasts, to soothing music, and even the lighting can also be controlled in order to make you feel relaxed. So there are multiple applications that come with this book.
Well, thank you. I don't know if we're more relaxed now, but thank you for that. That brings us to the end of this week's edition of Tech 24, but you can watch it again on our website, france24.com.